Part 2. A marriage built on gratitude, sweet happiness, or a price to pay. Do you believe there are marriages that don't begin with love, but with gratitude? And sometimes, that very thing can be the most dangerous. After that day, when Mr. V said, "I want to be with you," my world seemed to pause for a few seconds. I wasn't shocked. I didn't resist. I just couldn't believe I was standing in front of such a life-changing choice. One side was a normal life, fragile after everything that had happened. The other was the man who had saved my entire family from the brink. I knew, without him, my family would never have recovered, and because of that, I couldn't give him an answer right away. In the days that followed, I lived in a very strange state. I avoided him, but couldn't stop thinking about him. I kept asking myself, is this love, or just gratitude? Am I falling for him, or just overwhelmed by what I owe? But the more I thought, the less I could find an answer. He didn't pressure me. He still came over, still talked to my parents as usual. He still cared about me, but kept just enough distance. And somehow, that made it even harder for me to walk away. One evening, my mother asked, "What do you think about him?" I stayed silent. My father didn't say anything either, but in his eyes, there was hope. Not because they wanted to marry me off, but because they knew this might be my chance at a better life. And then, I nodded, not because I loved him so deeply I couldn't live without him, but because I believed a man who was willing to save my family would never hurt me. The day I told him, "I agree," he didn't laugh loudly. He didn't pull me into a hug. He simply nodded and said, "I won't let you regret this." From that moment, I changed the way I addressed him, from uncle to you, as a partner. A small change, but a turning point for my entire life. The wedding wasn't extravagant, but it was warm. From the outside, everyone said I was lucky to marry a successful, mature man who devoted himself to his family. And me, I believed that too. In the early days of marriage, my life felt like a dream. I didn't have to worry about money, a beautiful home, a stable job. I worked just to have connections, friends, and joy. Everything else, my husband took care of. He spoiled me so much. Sometimes I felt like a child. Whatever I liked, he bought it. Wherever I wanted to go, he arranged it. Several trips a year, clothes, cosmetics. I never had to think twice. There were moments I looked at myself in the mirror and thought, I really made the right choice. Then, I got pregnant. The day we found out, my husband was silent for a few seconds. I thought he wasn't happy. But then, he burst into tears. It was the first time I saw such a strong man cry. He held me tightly, his voice trembling. I never thought I'd have a day like this. In that moment, I truly believed I had everything. When our son was born, he changed completely. He devoted all his free time to the child. He fed him himself, took care of him himself. Every night, he held our son to sleep. I watched them, feeling warmth in my heart. I used to think, a man who loves his child this much must also be a good husband. But not everything you see is the truth. As time passed, everything still looked perfect, except for one thing, quietly changing. He still cared, still provided, but that care was no longer for me. Every conversation at home revolved around our child. What did he eat today? Did he sleep well? Where should we take him this weekend? And me, I slowly became someone on the sidelines. In the evenings, he came home, played with our son, then slept with him. And I lay beside them, yet felt thousands of miles away. I used to think he was just busy. The child was still small. It was just temporary. But I didn't realize it was from those temporary things that an invisible distance was slowly forming between us. And I didn't see it yet. Can a marriage that begins with gratitude be sustained by love? Or will it, one day, leave behind emptiness that can never be filled? Don't miss part 3. The nameless void, when I begin to realize I am lonely inside my own marriage. Hit like and subscribe to follow the next part. Trust me, the next part will make you rethink the meaning of happiness.